Hi guys, it's Michelle and I'm here to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects, and that's creative and stylized shoots and how to pull them off. I have 5 tips for you today. Why is that hard to say? I have 5 tips for you today. So the first one is obviously the concept first. Before you can do anything else, you need a clear concept and vision. And this is one of the funnest parts, I think, because you can actually use Pinterest for business and not feel guilty about it. When I will go through all my old magazines, because I tend to hoard them, a little bit of a problem. But I will go, sorry, there's flies everywhere. Anyone else having that problem? They're annoying. But, so I will go through the magazines, I'll literally tear out pages, I'll write on them, I'll circle them, I'll highlight them, even if it's a small part of the image I like, I'm like, oh, I wanna try that, and I'll do that, and I'll start a little folder for my creative stylized shoots, because they have to be organized or else things get everywhere. And start a brainstorming list. This is my list for the one that I showed you at the beginning of this video. And I started, you gotta be detailed. I started with models I thought would be good for the shoot, like their look, their mannerisms, location ideas, wardrobe ideas. And I was specific, I went from shoes to bottoms, top, jacket, accessories, nails, anything you can think of that you would need. Either you're gonna approach a vendor later or that you have on hand. Get the size of the model. You don't ever want, I've seen photographers get the model, get all excited, then they go to a store and they're pulling clothes and they have no idea sizes and height and anything, and that makes the job a lot harder, so don't do that to yourself. Props, I know that sounds cheesy, but the one I showed you, I had smoke bombs, I had a Jeep. Like, what things are you gonna need to make this come to life? Because those details are what really makes them, you know, your shoot stand out versus a normal shoot for a client. Number 2 is approach vendors. This can be scary, I understand, but it is gonna be so much fun once you get the ball rolling, because they obviously have more resources than you do, or you should do. Plus, it's a great way to promote each other's businesses and market and get your name out there and bring in each other's clientele. The first one will probably be your hardest, especially if this is your first stylized shoot and you don't have a lot of connections. First, I would go back to connections you've already done. Have you done a wedding before? Was there a caterer there? Was there a stylist? Was there a coordinator there? If you have a very limited archive, you're just gonna have to hit the streets literally with your feet and go into stores. Do you love their work? Would you want them to represent you, talk about you? Do you wanna mesh well? So do some research. It's gonna take some work on your part, and then when you do approach that first one, always approach your vendor with how you can help them. Go, I have this amazing idea and I'm gonna do this and this and this. I would love to feature your work. I would love to feature your clothes on my website. I'd love to feature, you know, whatever you're working with. Is that something you'd be interested in? And get the conversation rolling then. Okay, so my third tip is clear communication. This is gonna be the hardest step for you and the most work, but is the essential part of making these stylized shoots happen. They are not easy. They are a lot of work, especially because you are gonna act as the art director, but they are so worth it. So clear communication, meaning you want to be constantly in contact, emailing, messaging, phone calls with every vendor and every person involved, including your models and your hair and makeup artists, of course, about details of time, location, confirming with them dates, making sure they're on board, just to be sure that we're all on the same vision, same team. And then be ahead of the ball game. Are you gonna be the one picking up the clothes? Are they gonna send someone to the shoot location, drop them off? Details like that, who's gonna return them? What time do you need to return in business hours? Be very respectful of that. Be the one constantly making it so they don't have to worry about that. You wanna reassure the vendors that are giving you their resources that you are taking care of them and you're sensitive to the fact that they are donating a lot of their time and their merchandise for you. The last tip is obviously to market and follow up with your vendors. You put all this work in and you're wanting to show off your work, and it's gonna be unique. It's gonna what makes you stand out from another amateur or another professional photographer down the road, right? Hopefully. So promote on your social media and make sure you are tagging all the businesses and people involved. Don't just go excited for the shoot this weekend. Tag them all. Make sure you have all the correct social media links and build each other up. That's one of the huge parts about doing these stylized shoots, to cross promote and market. And then once the shoot is done, do not leave them hanging. I would recommend writing handwritten thank you notes, sending a treat or a gift card along with the images or email links or whatever you do to pass the images along that they will get. And you should have that agreement before the photo shoot, I will say that. Everyone needs to understand what they're getting in return. before you get to the location, because you don't want to leave anyone upset. You want the whole experience to be good so you can work with them again, hopefully. So I hope you find these 5 tips helpful, and I can't wait to see your work. I will post two of my favorite stylized shoots that I did this year in the description box below so you can check them out. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.